How did the Byzantine Empire collapse? Some blame a lack of Catholic support, some blame the great guns of Orban, some blame the military power of the Ottomans, and others blame the decadence of the empire. Me? I blame these guys.
I
don't even know where you are, man. I'm ill.
I think I would kill my own daughter when I'm barely
Why would I
like
kill your daughter?
punching above.
I would kill you.
I like to think that this could be live audio from the Imperial Palace of Constantinople in the decades coming up on the end of the Byzantine Empire, if they spoke English anyway. These folks are an interesting mix. I had been planning a sort of special content creator MP game and invited the people I knew. A lot of them couldn't make it, but these guys could, my real friends. Turns out though, that literally all of them are Victoria 3 players that barely know anything about CK3, except Lemon Cake, who mains EU4, and does know at least a few things about CK3. So, what happens when you put the fate of the Roman Empire in the hands of completely unqualified, argumentative, and scheming administrators? Well, I guess you get history. This collaboration started as something of a competition. I challenged these guys to compete for who can get the highest house rating in the Empire under just one rule: they can only marry their close family members to the close family members of other players. I would later learn that the answer to that restriction is not to actually arrange for interesting marriage games between players, but instead to just have bastards via seduction schemes. Very creatively solved, Victoria 3 gamers and Lemon Cake. The winner of the competition will have their character be the initial protagonist of my upcoming mega campaign. You might think that that was the twist of the run, but to me there needed to be another push for interplayer interaction. I provided that by being the Sword of Damocles over everyone's heads myself. I played Saladin with the express goal of pressuring the Greeks into a need for cooperation while maintaining the external competition for house score. Not to spoil too much, but
We're not killing the enemy, we're killing ourselves.
turns out that external pressure is less effective than expected. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the tale of how a few squabbling nobles completely collapsed an empire. Given the challenge I presented to the group, I had encouraged them to consider adding a few children to their custom characters, given the difficulty of acquiring family in the early game. In my head, the best way to compete for house score in Byzantine would be to try and get as many sons and daughters in charge of governorships as possible, at least in theory. As I had said before, they took a different, more bastardly approach, but one player, Generalist Gaming, and his governor, Sleepless Steve, took a different approach. He started the game with 9 daughters, and immediately those little girls would become his most prized possessions for their power as bargaining chips. Each of those daughters, once they come of age, can potentially be a governor, an alliance-securing wife, a skilled courtier, or a useful asset in a murder scheme. Unfortunately, most of them would see fates much less prestigious than any of those. In terms of what I'm doing over in Arabia, by the way, I'm more or less playing a relatively chill Saladin playthrough. I'm conquering Jerusalem, and considering how I want to pressure the other players without just invading and ending things too quickly. I'm thinking to send an intimidating shock down their spines with the conquest of both Jerusalem and Anatolia, and once I've done that, I'll turn the heat up and start eating Greek land. This all being said, I hadn't accounted for exactly how inexperienced everyone was.
Oh my god, the game's going so fast. I like it.
Stuff like marriages are pretty long-term arrangements usually, and given we'll have to play a little bit slower than Speed 4 so that everyone can keep up with the game, it's unlikely that such long-term deals will actually become important. The stream was only 4 hours long after all. Nonetheless, the need for wives would rise over time, followed by an immediate priority readjustment.
I need to have a wife right now. Okay.
Wait, there's a plague going on. There's a
There is a
disease.
plague.
Yeah, boys,
There is a plague.
I'm ill.
Oh no.
So I've immediately got caught.
Someone's gonna
I'm
game
gonna
over.
die!
Okay,
No.
I'm back up.
Indeed, the need for wives would grow to the point that some would mistake their fellow man for woman and engage in horrific sodomy.
Are you two seducing
I was
each other? You
I'm like,
monster.
who is this? Oh my god.
Dude.
Strategos,
You guys-
Strategos sure knows how to
I just
be a
wanted the
man.
fornicator and sodomite traits, okay?
Bro.
Oh my god, he exposed it. What the fuck?
Oh,
He exposed
you
it.
evil man! You evil man!
Horsey Man of Thessalonica and Sleepless Steve of Epirus engaged in forbidden love, which one may have thought would remain a secret for both their sakes. But Sleepless Steve, under absolutely no pressure whatsoever, immediately spilled his guts to the entire court. Meanwhile, as some people's lives were blossoming despite the plague, others were worried for their futures. Tarkasarkasar of Athens and Achaea, no relation to me of course, came down with consumption, and his chances at life were looking slim. He's a young, healthy man, but the wrath of disease cares not. In particular, they don't care for the welfare of especially young people, as Sleepless Steve's daughters have been dropping like flies to the measles. I want to add that I just hadn't considered at all the magnitude of disease that would be present this game. For whatever reason, I just kind of thought it wouldn't be too bad, but my goodness, the measles and consumption wiped out so many important people in this game. When the iron is hot, it is said that one should strike, and so I struck for the first time at the Empire, rather covertly though. I attacked for Cyprus, hoping to just put a little pressure onto the already somewhat panicked players in the game. In reality, my conquest of Cyprus is quite meaningless, but it's funny because it gets the people going. That being said, no one noticed, actually, until I told them I was indeed invading. Have you guys become aware that I am in fact at war with the Emperor right now, by the way?
Yeah,
something called Cyprus. I don't think that's...
After that embarrassment and intimidation, I continued my war, and then, shortly after, Tarkasarkasar of Athens and Achaea, no relation, passed away from the consumption. I genuinely wasn't expecting this, given consumption isn't super deadly to young adults, but alas, here we are.
Oh, I am dead.
I will build.
Why is my wife
I will
still
build
alive?
10
I am dead. I died of
forms
Confucius. Oh, god damn it.
Died of Confucianism,
Oh.
hate to see it.
Yep.
So
Alright,
how does
now,
that
here,
work
we'll
then?
pause. So you died and you weren't
He's
able
dead?
to secure the succession on the governorship. So now you're like a landless estate owner.
Oh,
So you
my
still control your estate,
Ah.
but you have no land, which means your income's probably going to be really low. Lemon Cake would have to strap in for a long waiting game, as he's now playing someone just a few years old. Children cannot become governors, so he can't vie for control of a governorship until he gets a bit older. The next couple of years would mostly see yet more fights for daughters, but more importantly, it would see Saladin's advancement into Anatolia. The Sultanate of Rum won't maintain its independence long, and by subjugating these Turks, Saladin will assert himself as the hegemon of the Near East, heightening his threat level to the Greeks immensely. The invasion of Rum only saw more and more plagues assaulting Greece, as Lemon Cake's new character, whose name I don't even know because he was so shortly lived, would end up on death's door.
Oh, I've got smallpox.
Oh no.
Yeah, I've isolated my capital.
Oh, no.
I ain't dying.
Oh, I am on death's door.
Oh no.
What?
Lemon Cake.
You have? Oh,
Lemon Cake's getting the
Oh, he's
CK3
done.
experience.
he's
I think
done.
I
He's
just
done.
died.
In my hopes of intimidating the boys into actually working together, I found myself exercising a completely and utterly futile move, as my conquest of Rome did nothing to bring the people together. They instead only got along worse and worse, as Horsey Man, played by Chum, took a piece of Sleepless Steve's territory via a border dispute.
Generalist, look at your land.
What about it?
Oh,
Is Chum being
Chum stole
expanding or am I
Aetolia.
just fine?
Dude.
Guys, I'm getting impatient now. I've
Wait, did
become
you
a
just get
curious, impatient
Aetolia
man.
for nothing?
He
Yeah,
did a
I
scheme.
thought we would have to fight or something.
No,
I thought we would have to
when you do
fight,
the
like-
scheme, it's like you steal it like bureaucratically. You know, it's cold and bureaucratic like the healthcare system.
Wait, how?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. I
Tell
love
me.
healthcare.
Revelations about the news of such a land-stealing scheme would cloud the Greeks' judgment as we enter the next era of Byzantine history. When disaster strikes, it can be tempting to find a scapegoat. It can be tempting to look to the people close to you and see only enemies, especially when they steal your land. Sleepless Steve, upset over the loss of Aetolia to his homosexual lover, Horsey Man, plotted with Sexy of Philippopolis to depose Horsey Man. The equine ruler of Thessalonica appealed to a sense of teamwork, in the hopes that he could have his theft of Aetolia swept under the rug, but Sleepless Steve wouldn't have it.
Fun fact,
Wait,
by
I'm
the way,
married.
while you've stolen Aetolia, Tarkosaurus has stolen Anatolia.
True, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, dude.
We should probably do something about that at some point.
It's okay.
Let's,
it's okay.
guys, we have to stop fighting. Okay, let's stop fighting now.
Yeah, the guy who's wronged someone else immediately turns around and says, "Guys, we gotta stop.
It's
We
so
gotta stop
true.
fighting."
We have to stop fighting.
You might be wondering how the people of Byzantium are feeling in the face of their bickering rulers, and I think the 7 stacks of ongoing riots at Constantinople really put into perspective how the realm is feeling. The people are upset in Constantinople right now,
Ah, they'll be fine.
and the locals have been.
I like how it's
pacified at the same time.
-37, yeah.
There's one figure in this video you might be curious about, as he hasn't come up at all that much, and that would be the governor Walta of Sus, played by Toby. Walta has kept to himself for the most part of this playthrough, but not because he hasn't been doing anything. but instead because he's just that good at getting away with what he's already done. I'm not saying that most of the immense discord and upset across the Aegean is a result of some hidden meddling from the Ionian coast, but I am saying that there might be more than meets the eye to this humble meth salesman, governor.
Wait, look at Toby. Toby, have you been that big, like, this entire time?
Actually, I lost some land.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's actually smaller than he used to be.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot Toby was here.
Wow.
I'm vibing.
By this point, I was feeling that the time for my invasion was nigh, but then I was invaded by the Almohadi Caliphate basically out of nowhere. Thanks to this relatively audacious and random attack, the Greeks would be spared an invasion for a little bit longer, but only a little bit indeed, given how easily the Almohadis will be wiped up. If anything, this attempted invasion is just free money for me, really. By the way, poor Lemon Cake just can't escape the plague, as his teenage lord, Bajan, caught smallpox. For a child, this disease is almost certainly a death sentence.
Oh, for God's sake, I also have smallpox. God damn it, not again.
Oh my god, if you might die.
I'm gonna become the 6-year-old daughter.
Or Bajan's sister would succumb to the plague first, and then shortly after he too would die, leaving the thief family of humble Vlach origin dead and buried. This also left Lemon Cake with a game over screen.
And that's game over.
Alright, hold on,
Wait.
we should pause.
Alright.
Lemon Cake has game over.
Oh.
It took me 10 years to kill 4 people to smallpox.
First game over to smallpox. Very, very pog.
So for the record, I was an 18-year-old with 2 backup kids and we all died to smallpox.
Yep. Looking to keep Lemon Cake in the game, I gave him an opportunity. He would be allowed to rejoin the game as a Seljuk Turk vassal of mine in Rum. I picked that for him because, quite frankly, he had wasted the past hour of his life doing nothing but waiting for his character to grow up, only for him to then die anyway. So I felt it would be nice to let him play someone with an opportunity to actually experience some content. He came in as CK3 Arslanolu of Anadolu. The loss of the thief family was quickly swept aside in favor of a dispute over the recent mysterious deaths of a handful of Sleepless Steve's precious daughters.
Someone keeps killing my daughters, so I'm not a fan of only having 3 left.
No, I didn't kill your daughter. Your daughter died. Look, I will give you a bloodline, an extra one.
I didn't kill your daughter died.
I didn't kill your daughter, I promise. Look, that was my only hope. That was my only hope. Please.
I have a daughter right here, Smithy.
Smithy,
She's one, and she's got a crooked face. I don't want
Please
it.
help me. Join this
Will you help me?
please. I need
Will you
your
help me
help.
beat up Horsey Man?
No, I need, dude. I'm about to.
Look, I will send you. Wait. You want help in a war or something?
I'm at war with 10,000 troops right now.
Generally,
Well, I want Horsey Man to die for his treachery.
you know what? I will
We
help
were
you with
lovers
that.
and he took
You know,
my
because we'll be
territory.
allies
This
by
is the,
default because
I'm
we're
not,
married.
I'm not good enough to like.
This is the bride they're fighting over right now, by the way. This is the bride they're trying to claim here. This is who they want. They desperately need a marriage. It's not hard to imagine that, by now, any potential for cooperation has fallen apart, and to be honest, I felt a little trapped. What am I gonna do, just invade and kill them all to get them to come together? This is actually where the Byzantine AI decided that it would make quite the step to my empire, in declaring war for Anadolu, which is the duchy held by Lemon Cake. I'm pretty sure they felt like they could win because I was distracted in war with the Almohadis still, but all these offensive wars being declared on me are just going to be more money to fuel my future wars. This war with the Byzantines would be far more important than any other war though, all thanks to the happenstance of the risks that martially inclined emperors take. There was no doubt that the emperor would lose, given how powerful I am as Saladin, but this loss would provide a great opportunity. I captured the emperor in battle and decided that he would die, but not before pausing and informing the Greek world of the coming death of their emperor. This opportunity would give the Greek Quinumvirate, that being Sleepless Steve, Horsey Man, Sexy, Walta, and the spirit of Tarkasarkasar, no relation, the chance to pool their influence and pick an emperor. Call this overly guided, call it blatant manipulation, call it what you want, but I wanted to see these guys actually work together on something, so I paused and sat to let them discuss who they would make emperor. There's an opportunity for actual content here. If you guys, I'm going to do this with you guys. If you want to throw all your influence into making someone the emperor of your choice right now, I will execute him the moment that you have the candidate you want, so that person inherits. So think about this.
Toby, you're emperor. Toby, I'm making emperor.
You guys want to make Toby emperor so you can try to save the realm?
What's the way to make this the worst possible?
I don't want to be emperor.
Smithy?
I'm having fun. Did you say the worst possible for me?
Huh? Yeah.
Brother. Brother.
You are really good at role-playing Byzantine emperors, aren't you?
Yeah, you
You're
guys
getting,
are
like,
actually,
Constantinople has been sieged, and you're like, however, my rivalry with the Duke of Sardinia.
Takes precedence.
No, they're trying to kill me. I killed my wife. I just executed her.
Wait, Smithy's Horsey Man, right?
Huh?
Yeah,
Wait, who's
Smithy's
Horsey Man? Yeah. I'm trying to make sure I got the right guy.
No, that's
Make him-
Chum.
Chum is Horsey Man.
Bro,
Chum's
Make him
Horsey
up-
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Oh
we're
my
killing
God.
Chum then. Sorry. I apologize.
Chum
Did
killed
Did
his
you
own pregnant wife.
Did you kill my wife? General.
Huh? Did I kill your wife? No, I didn't.
No,
He
he's
killed
lying.
your
He's
wife,
lying.
I'm
He killed
telling
your
you.
wife.
I'm telling you, he killed your wife, bro. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man.
I tried. I really did. I gave them the chance to pick an emperor, and after just a few moments, it returned to a discussion about who killed whose wife. Truly, the greatest Byzantine roleplay going on here, but then, something magical happened. Wait, Toby, are you putting points into both of them? You put points into both of them. That's insane. He misclicked.
He's playing both sides. He's playing both sides.
Okay, but it looks like
Nobody playing that
Smithy's
4D
on top.
chess.
Smithy can be emperor. He's gonna ruin it, so
Okay.
I'm okay with this.
Okay, the
Come
emperor
on,
will
boys,
be
the
killed.
emperor will stand.
Are we all ready? Are we all ready, boys?
Please.
I'm ready.
Right, how do I be emperor? Can someone teach me?
Exactly.
Yes!
Alright, and now, please enforce 100% war score.
And now
against
I'm gonna
the
take all of your money and all the money you don't have as well. Strategos Walta from Sus, by accident, wrote in that Lord Sexy would have his backing, and so, with Sexy, played by Smithy, in line to take the throne, I executed the bastard founder Alexios III, who himself could have been a very promising emperor. The reign of a new imperial dynasty began here on August 14th of 1191, the Sexy dynasty. I've called the group of 5 governors that put up the new dynasty the Quinumvirate, as in triumvirate, but there's 5 of them. They're finally showing some level of cooperation as they have chosen an emperor. For Sleepless Steve, it's all about getting back at Horsey Man, his lover-turned-rival. And for Walta, it was a misclick. By the way, I know there are only 4 governors involved here, including the Emperor, but I'm calling it the Quinumvirate because the ghost of Tarkasarkasar, no relation, lives on, at least in my heart anyway. In a way, Horsey Man is only barely even a member of the organization, as Sexy was put on the throne with the promise to undermine Horsey Man's rule over Thessalonica. The promise was made to Sleepless Steve to secure his influence. Regardless of anything, the more complicated issue for Emperor Sexy is that his economy will immediately tank due to the war operations his administration will owe to me, thanks to the war his predecessor started. For now, my work in defeating the Romans will be halted, as the Catholics have declared a crusade for Jerusalem. They of course stand no chance, but it will be enough of a distraction that I'll be forced to leave Byzantium alone, giving some much needed breathing room to the Romans. Oh hey, the Mongols are here by the way. I doubt they'll reach the Middle East before this video is done, but once the mega campaign kicks off, you bet they'll be riding hard for whatever Greece will be in the next few decades. Of more immediate concern than the far-off steppe peoples are the ones right in the Greek backyard, as Kekasra Seljuk, controlled by Lemon Cake, has decided to make an invasion of his own into Nicaea.
We might be at war currently with a certain vassal of the Empire.
You talk like that.
He became more British. This is terrible.
What the heck was that, man? That was funny.
Damn.
How do I join war?
Lemon Cake's going for it.
Wait, how do I join?
I consider this war to be something of a mini-boss moment. It was perfect, really. Seeing Lemon Cake step up to test the mettle of the new emperor. Keep in mind that Lemon Cake is at least somewhat competent at this game, while Smithy is basically almost entirely unfamiliar with it. With that in mind, I put my thumb on the scales of balance and gave them just a little bit of guidance here and there, much to the chagrin of my poor vassal Lemon Cake. Some advice for the emperor, right? Okay, in terms of where the Byzantine gets their power from. You can spend influence to take armies from your vassals. So for example,
Don't tell him that.
okay, well, you know, let's keep it a little fair here, because you're going to pretty obviously win looking at it right now. If you go to your military tab, where it says like your armies, there should be an imperial armies section in the military tab. And there's going to be a big list of armies that are controlled by your vassals. You can spend influence to gain them. Now, unfortunately, you don't have a ton of influence, but I don't know how many troops you can get with that. Oh, that's not all the advice I gave, though. Where if someone is sieging a castle, they are always the attacker, even if they're attacked. So if someone, so let's say for example, like if Lemon Cake starts sieging in Phrygia, for example, you have buildings there that will, like for those hunting grounds, give you +8 advantage there for defenders. If someone's sieging it, you always are the defender if you own the castle. So just keep that in mind, like when it comes to defensive terrain and stuff, mountains are important, but also like if you can fight in a castle that's yours, you'll get a big bonus, depending on what's in the castle.
I'm not going to lie. You're speaking words, and they're just going in one ear and
that's
coming
fair.
out the other.
I'm being
Point is,
really pissed
you know,
off.
let
about
generals
Taurus,
leave the
'cause
armies.
He's letting him give he's giving them
Generals leave the armies?
advice,
No.
but he's letting me he's gonna not let me win.
Well,
this.
like we
lot
don't want to
weaker.
fight.
Well, I want to give him a fair
Uh,
chance because Lemon Cake is like a GIGACHAD. He's like the fairest gamer of them all. So you know, gotta give him a chance, right?
So true.
So true. The Emperor seems to be having trouble using this advice, as during the Battle of Paphlagonia, he'd end up doing the exact opposite of what I told him. Emperor Sexy put his forces into a siege there, allowing the Sultan of Rum to get a defensive battle against him. The ensuing battle would prove quite nerve-wracking, as the Sultan's allies were apprehensive to join him in battle.
Who's this battle?
Let's see.
Tom is coming by himself.
Okay.
This is actually, I don't know who wins this battle. This looks
Oh, no
really
way.
close. This because
Yeah.
we got more coming in. You both have more reinforcements coming in. But
Yeah.
no, I think never mind. It's gonna go.
That
to
take
one
is
Lemon Cake.
brutal. That take is brutal. Yeah.
And
I'm not sure.
yes. Generalist going anyway. Going in. No, he's getting out.
No,
Traitorous
Generalist is the coward. He's a coward. Take his land back. I'm
This
coming.
is
Don't worry.
you cowards!
Don't
Oi,
worry. I'm coming.
Despite the loss in Paphlagonia, though, one brave knight in service to the recently deposed Horsey Man would appear, ready to bring glory to Constantinople. Perhaps in an attempt to earn the favor of his scornful emperor, Horsey Man sent his most loyal knight, a Christian Turk named Chagri, to fight the Turkish hordes.
This is the one man.
Chagri
Fight, man, fight. It's me all by myself. I will fight to the last man. Ah!
I'm inviting him to my court. He died in the battle. He was slain.
giving you land!
He was slain by Sheikh Balaban of Alt Galatia. Rest in peace, poor Chagri. He may have found a home in Cairo, but he instead found a home in Greek soil. These recent defeats were not in vain though, as Emperor Sexy did realize the value of allowing his enemies to make the first move. He positioned himself in the secure highlands of Nicaea and awaited his Turkish foes, hoping to catch them outside of a fortress. Well, that's what he was doing, until he took an offensive battle on a hill in Seljuk territory. No amount of good advice can save an aggressively stubborn emperor, I suppose.
I'm pretty sure. No, just wait. I'm pretty sure he's in a worse situation from money from having all these mercs, and we could just wait him out.
That's a pretty good fight for
No,
Byzantines
no,
I
right
think
there.
they should-
That's
I
a
think
good
they
fight.
should keep
That's a good
Come in,
fight.
General.
Alright, I'm
Come
coming
in.
on to it, but I think that,
I might come to America and turn you into a pork pie if you're not here in 4 minutes!
Come on,
This
No,
one looks
that's a
fine
good
enough.
battle, yeah. You two plains fight.
We can't take it on a hill or a forest though.
This is
Jones get there in time. No, it's over. It's
Yes,
over.
yes, yes, come on.
It's over.
Oh!
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the strategic decision making here.
Another tactical Byzantine assaulted the
Yes.
defensive lines
Glory
for
to
no
the
fucking
Empire.
reason.
Glory to the Empire. It seems that Chum's dedication to the Emperor is truly without equal, as he sent yet more knights to die to the Turks in the hopes of earning his liege's attention. We did also welcome a new member to the game, Technocrat, who had been slated to join at the start but who slept in. I'd have said that sleeping in made sense since we started at like 8 AM PST, but Technocrat is living in Sweden. I respect a degenerate gamer's sleep schedule though. Since hot joining players can't make custom characters, Technocrat joined in as the governor of Bulgaria, Alexios Palaiologos, looking for a powerful governor to try and ride out to victory. The Byzantine army did make some progress, albeit meaninglessly, as they occupied Honorius, the capital of one of the Sultan's allies. Unfortunately, in CK3, occupying allied territory contributes no war score of any kind, so it mostly just acted as a morale boost for the players more than anything. Simultaneously, I had my own little plot cooking, which would put a convenient timer on this seemingly unending war. Once this kid becomes of age, he's claim it to the Empire. I'm gonna get him matrilineally married to one of my daughters, and then I'm gonna put him on the throne. Because what I'm thinking of doing is like I could just I could basically end this war by just declaring myself and then just doing it myself, but that'd be no fun. Now, if Saladin lives long enough, which I hope he will, he's 59 and poor, but I'm gonna get Iron Constitution pretty soon. Then we can take this Manuel kid, get him into a matrilineal marriage, put him on the throne, and just like puppet the Empire basically. We'll see how it works out. This child, Manuel, is the son of the Emperor who I executed to put Smithy on the throne. That means he's got a strong claim to the throne, and because he's an ambitious little brat, he'll be willing to come to even a Muslim court in the hopes of having his claim pressed. Once I get him into my court, I can convert him to Islam and marry him matrilineally to one of my daughters, and then depose Smithy. A Muslim Basilius will, of course, result in mass chaos, but once again, my interest is always in greater content. Through all the chaos, there may yet be opportunity for governorships to swap hands and for the players to try and fight for the first place in this competition. It's all too easy to forget that the real purpose of this game is to see who can get the best house score. By the way, that occupation of Honorius that I thought was pointless, turns out it would actually be pivotal in the success of the Byzantine campaign, as the Sultan put in effort to try and reclaim the city. He would even take a battle there, not realizing that there were Greeks hidden away, ready to support the bait troops from Sus.
Guys, I'm gonna stop him. I'm gonna stop
Where the
him.
fuck's Chum's army?
Chum is gonna save the day.
Okay, never mind. We don't
Unfortunately, I
have
locked
to.
in a bit too much, so that was
Yeah.
fine.
Oh no, he didn't want to stop him.
Yes!
Yeah, I was just
Guys,
You're mine! Chum, put your army into! Put your army into!
Look at the
Let's
war
catch more
score.
of
Oh
them!
my goodness.
hey, wait. Okay,
Oh,
okay,
they're
I'm
gonna-
gonna cut him off. I'm cutting him off here.
No, no,
Right,
no,
should I
no, they're
call
gonna
in
try and fight you
the
anyway.
Wait, I'm killing them. I'm killing his army.
100% enforced demand!
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah!
It's over. Thanks to Lemon Cake's neglect to grab any occupations in Nicaea, the war score was actually relatively indecisive. With the Battle of Honorius, though, it fell firmly in the Byzantines' favor, and so they won. I think the Seljuk heir might have gotten captured, is how he won that war, but I'm not sure since I didn't look at the war score breakdown. Regardless, the Seljuk mini-boss is defeated, and defeated before my claimant has come of age. This would prompt me to make my threat, of course. He wants to congratulate you on defeating the Turks of Anatolia, his vassals. Okay, very nice. He also wants to tell you that in about a year and a half, he is going to show you the real might of a Muslim empire. A year and a half. He's also going to unpause the game now. That's how long you have before your fate will be made known. The he in question here is, of course, Saladin, and the year and a half corresponds to the day that Manuel reaches adulthood. In my eyes, there was hope that this threat might foster continued cooperation, but of course, the Greek lords only returned to more squabbling over trivial things, like the lives of their daughters and their house's continued existence or whatever.
What is this scheming against my daughter?
Why did the craft? Why
Yeah,
did
locked in. I was trying to
Technocrat
catch
get
them
that
out
much
position, but they
land? Wait, why did you give Technocrat
Okay.
land but not me?
Look,
What the heck?
I gave you back land! Okay?
He sounds a little ungrateful to me.
Already
Please,
back to the Civil
Even in the
War.
war.
The moment the existential threat is gone, back to Civil War mode, like instantly,
I think
like
they were in Civil War
instantaneously.
before they even
Here,
yeah.
allow me to
Wasn't
send
in
you a
the war,
suggestion,
though.
my dear
I may or
Basileus.
may not have given him more than I expected, but it's okie doke, okay?
What? Listen, I'm changing sides.
can I give-
Indeed, tensions hit such levels that there were beginning to appear some defectors, like Walta of his newly named despotate, Saladin land. Walta has, up to this point, been something of a background character in the Byzantine political landscape, but this is where my suspicions grew. I sent my spy master to find some secrets in Ionia. It was already known that Walta was a murderer of at least one person, but in Greek politics, it's more about who you murder than that you murder at all. Turns out, though, that after doing some digging, Ayyubid spies discovered that all the argument between Sleepless Steve and Horsey Man, based around accusations of murder, were entirely unfounded. It was Walta that had killed two of Sleepless Steve's daughters, but it was too late. The bad blood between the Epirotes and Thessalonians could not be resolved with trivial things like the truth. Uncovered something.
I'm gonna leave.
I'm gonna expose it.
No.
Were you gonna expose how he killed half my daughters?
I have,
No,
I
I
have
killed two.
exposed.
And I got blamed for it.
I'm also letting
I got blamed.
Technocrat in, by the way. I believe this is Technocrat joining. I think it is.
Yeah.
Hey, Techno.
I killed two, and it wasn't because they were your daughters.
Your wife.
I
Wait.
killed two of your daughters.
We're gonna pause for a bit while
And
Technocrat
that's because
joins.
they were your daughters.
It's because they were Smithy's wife.
Yeah, I figured that was more the reasoning.
Yeah, based.
And he caused
Still not thrilled about it.
So it was Toby fucking killing him this whole time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
blamed for it.
It's
bro.
okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Nonetheless, it looked to me like Walta could be an important asset in the near future, so I asked for a hostage as evidence of his true loyalty. His son, Fartass, bro, what are these names? Toby fans, this is who you watch. Shameful. As I was saying though, his son, Fartass, would come to Cairo and become Saladin's ward. This coincided with Manuel's entry into the adult world, and with that, his matrilineal marriage to an Ayyubid daughter, and of course, a war for his claim.
Oh god, you've allied all of them as well.
How do
It's
I
declared
sell my
war,
estate?
Call
boys.
me in, daddy.
It's
To
declared
the front
war.
line.
We are fucked.
What did you deck for?
And he immediately-
Oh no, you have a claim on the.
I decked to put a random ass Greek who came to my court who was matrilineally married to my daughter on the throne.
I hope you know that you've got to play one of our characters.
That sounds
One of our characters
Actually,
later.
that sounds like an improvement.
This is Manuel. He's born in the purple,
You
okay?
chatting your shit.
This is the son of an emperor who I executed, by the way. Okay? And I'm gonna put him on the throne. I don't think anyone expects Emperor Sexy to win, especially given the abysmal coordination with his governors. I gave them a chance by choosing to take a washroom break right when the war began, so that they might be able to get their bickering done and try to fend me off. Keep in mind, we've got about an hour left in our scheduled stream time from here, so I'm looking to bring the events of the game to climax with this war. Once it was over, I had very quickly taken the fortress in Bithynia and had Constantinople in my sights. Crossing the straits and fighting an offensive battle on Constantinople is extremely risky, but I did have some pretty insane units, so I genuinely thought I could win the battle. CK3's battle indicator even told me I'd almost certainly win, so I went for it.
Yeah, wipe those peasants.
I was gonna wipe them out first, and then I'll come back.
No!
Can you recruit any mercenaries?
I got overconfident.
Come on.
No!
You're crossing a river into. I think
I thought maybe I could do it. I thought maybe I could do it. I thought maybe I could do it. I lost 1% war score. The Greeks may have won that battle, but in terms of casualties, they actually lost slightly more men than Saladin, despite having almost 4 times as many. While Emperor Sexy pressed his advantage, he got overconfident though. He reclaimed part of Bithynia, but pushed on too far. He was caught in an offensive battle near the Phrygian-Bithynian borderlands, and got his army stack wiped.
Bro, who lets Smithy
I'm not
run?
reinforcing that
Who lets-
shit.
who lets
I think
Smithy
that's-
Don't reinforce it, don't
I think that's
reinforce
This
it.
is gonna be a
Don't
lot of
reinforce it, don't
kills,
reinforce it.
boys.
Don't reinforce it.
Holy mother.
That was a stack wipe.
Oh, that's just
yeah,
kill.
That's a stack wipe. Oh yeah.
Oh
14,000
my
deaths.
God.
Fun fact. Caught him. I caught them. My liege. I caught.
Yeah, you caught him. Yo, let's go. Thank you. With no army, Constantinople is laid bare to the Arab armies, but the Greeks have more tools than just armies up their sleeves.
Smithy,
True.
just last 200 more days, okay? You just gotta last 200 more
They're trying
days.
to kill the guy. They're trying to
He's
kill
gonna
him.
last another 5 seconds.
Smithy!
Much
No!
longer. Oh my god, I need 4 more % war score. Indeed, if Manuel dies, my war ends, and the murderous capabilities of the Greeks are well known to all. I wasn't worried at first, but then I occupied Calliopolis and only got to 99% war score. Suddenly, I was beginning to sweat just a little bit, as I already had max war score from battles. I would need another protracted siege to win the war. The Emperor even contributed to this delaying tactic by taking an indecisive battle in Gallipoli, which he would probably lose, but which would take a long time to lose.
We survived!
No.
We survived! We will survive! It's fine! It's fine!
Surely.
No way! So
I was coming to help, but
Yeah.
No, still 99%.
Like-
We were capped on war score,
99.
so 99% still. We have to get this
Why is
siege.
oh, because you have to.
Yeah, there's 50% cap on
oh.
battle war score. Despite their great tactics, which after so long finally shone through, the fall of Gallipoli saw the fall of the Sexy dynasty and the return of the old dynasty from before this cursed house took power. Manuel of Heraclea Perinthos, a bastard lineage of the Komnenos family, came to power with an Ayyubid princess at his side. Anytime a new emperor ascends, there will be some chaos. It's only natural. Imagine, though, the chaos of a non-Christian emperor in the 13th century, if you will. Through chaos, there is always opportunity, and with the last stretch of time left, the remaining members of the Quinumvirate are jockeying for first place. Nonetheless, an AI is always an interesting factor in a game of CK3. The Basilius Manuel elevated Alexios Palalogos, played by Technocrat, to the rank of co-Basilius. Wouldn't it be funny if the guy that came late ended up winning because the AI just decided to elevate him like that? Unfortunately for Technocrat, I think being co-Basilius doesn't actually give any house score, so it's less important than it might look, unless he starts actually using his co-Basilius powers to accomplish something. For right now, the top contenders for victory are Sleepless Steve, whose family has 2 governorates, and Walta, whose family also has 2 governorates. Sexy and Horsey men have mostly fallen into obscurity, while Alexios' time is too spent up being co-Basilius for him to make time for lesser political games. Although many opposed Manuel's rulership in Greece, he impregnated his Ayyubid princess, Nasiba, and so an heir was on the way. This heir would be the combination of 2 great imperial bloodlines, and if it's a boy, it could very well be the next emperor. Some upset members of the Quinumvirate would try and see this Basilius removed anyway.
I just got caught for trying to murder the Basilius.
Damn. You hate to see it.
I'm done. I'm done for.
Shortly after, the first civil war would break out in the form of a tyranny war to depose the new emperor in favor of the old one, Sexy. Indeed, Smithy's character still held sway among much of the Byzantine nobility. Of course, being my ally, Manuel could simply use my immense military power to fight any rebellion he wanted to, but in the hopes of seeing if Manuel could stand on his own, Saladin let him fight his own battles. With war, of course, came this game's true antagonist, plagues. Sleepless Steve came down with what would almost certainly be a terminal case of measles. Alongside that, Walta's background plotting came to a head, as he, for seemingly no reason, kidnapped the deposed Emperor Sexy and had his way with him.
I can't believe Toby's just casually torturing me.
Wait, what? Toby has you?
Toby tortured
Yeah,
him.
Toby's just been casually torturing me.
Hell yeah.
What? I want to see this.
Oh, he's made me a fucking lunatic. Brilliant.
He made you a eunuch. He eunuched you.
Just roleplay.
He eunuched you, bro.
An emperor with no reproductive organs is no emperor at all in the eyes of Byzantine society, and so the war to depose Emperor Manuel would need an alternative figurehead. Emperor Sexy, ironically, has lost his manhood and could still serve as a eunuch in the empire, but never as an emperor himself. Sleepless Steve's survival was also quite miraculous, as by staying in power, he might just be able to keep his position as top family in the empire. I wasn't part of the empire in this stream, so I couldn't check the actual scores, but I had a good idea of who was leading just based on the governorships and family members of each house. Generalist was tied with Toby for governorships, but had more kids, so he should be in the lead. Without really knowing why, most of the Quinumvirate would participate in the anarchical series of civil wars of Byzantium, but ultimately, it's not like they really have much to gain. The truth is that so long as their personal estates remain untouched, the matter of who gets to be emperor is relatively meaningless to them. By the way, remember when I took Fart Ass as a hostage? Well, he turned 16 on July of 1205 and has embraced the Arab way of life. His education is of quite high quality, and he's had a strong sense of loyalty to his great guardian Saladin. Hopefully, Walta is happy with his son's transformation. Almost immediately after, though, Saladin died. There goes that hook, I guess. The game came to a close conveniently right after this, as the 4-hour mark precipitated the end of the game. It seems like no one was particularly happy with where they ended up, unfortunately.
Good sodomite adulterer.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
That checks out.
That time.
No one do it.
That is
You know,
time.
I'm so sad right now.
I'm
is a time,
so
okay.
upset.
How close were you?
I got incapable like
Oh.
the minute before it ended, and I lost it. I had to win.
No. That sucks so bad.
That's so lame.
Dude, got fucked over.
I was winning by 1 point.
1 point.
Right, so who was it?
Correct.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna
It was
swap
the winner.
characters. I'm gonna swap characters over so I can look at. I'm gonna swap to just some random anyone so I can see what the score is. Okay. Noble families. The first in the list, the top. It is generalist at number 1, and then below that is technocrat, and then below that is an AI, and then below that is Walter White, and then below that is.
No. Technocrat is above.
Bro,
Yeah.
I gave them all their victories, and they just.
Oh, well, let's see who's at the bottom. Who's at the bottom? Let's see.
You can't keep down Sleepless Steve's the
I think
legend.
it might be me.
Smithy is the bottom.
I think it's
Chum is
definitely
second
me.
last, and
it's-
Smithy is last.
Yeah, it's
Insane.
Indeed, Walta was in the running to win the game, but came down with an unfortunate case of no longer being conscious, forever, which knocked his family score down just enough to put the true winner in place, Sleepless Steve. By simply not playing the game, Sleepless Steve held on to what he had and secured a huge victory. This means that in the coming days you'll be seeing me continue this cursed world, playing as Sleepless Steve and carrying his lineage into a world that may look very different than our own. What a great success this whole game has been so far.
I actually love that this is where it stops in the middle of this like mass chaos, because now what I can do is I can make the save game and then I can go and drop in as Sleepless Steve and just be like, okay, what do I want to do with this mass chaos? For those
You're in
that,
two
for
wars,
those that
by the
came to the
way.
stream, for those that came to the stream later, like they didn't see the beginning, the whole point of this entire MP is that all the players except for me were competing to be the highest score for the families, and whoever was the highest score is going to be the character or lineage that I play as for a mega campaign that I'm planning for like the new year. So Generalist won barely. Toby was going to win by like 1 point and then entered a coma and like lost score, and that made him no longer the winner. So now I'm gonna have to play as Sleepless Steve here, and the Empire is in like complete chaos. And there's just like a random, like if you look at the daughter of the current emperor, there's this random like Arab Muslim like granddaughter of Saladin with a claim to, who's gonna have a claim to the throne once her father dies, just wandering around, and that's gonna be a very important character probably. for the for the near future. She's gonna have a good claim, and she's gonna be like a character you can try to mold. The point is that that we scheduled for 4 hours. I think this is a good spot to stop. Obviously, not good for Toby, but good for everyone else.
I want to give a huge thank you to everyone that played. Thank you, Generalist Gaming, for making it to the game, even though, through a miscommunication, we played 2 hours earlier than you wanted. Sleepless Steve will carry a great legacy, I'm sure. Thank you, Smithy, for taking on the responsibility of being Emperor and promptly misusing its great power to only harm yourself. Although Sexy has been castrated, his beauty will, I'm sure, bring many to their knees. Thank you, Chum, for being the target of an unjustified hate campaign as you were scapegoated for the deaths of people you had no hand in. Horsey Man is still out there and could potentially still influence this world to some extent. Thank you, Toby, for being the hidden danger that every Greek needs. Without the drama this man stirred, we may have never had an inciting incident to drive the Quinumvirate apart. Thank you, Lemon Cake, for dying of the plague, I guess. But more importantly, thank you for being the session mini-boss in Room and giving the other players an actually manageable war, even if I did sabotage you at every moment possible. Finally, thank you, Technocrat. I've put you last in the thanking list because you joined late, but your role as Co-Basilius kept the role out of an AI's hands who may have massively misused the powers available to them. Check out the Twitch channel, or just subscribe here to find the live stream of the upcoming Mega Campaign, which will be streamed here on YouTube and on Twitch right after this video premieres. If you're watching this in the future, check the description for a link to the first stream. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and thank you for your time.